Hi everyone, welcome back to the Lovin Dubai Show. I'm Farah and this is Majid.
Yes. Hi, Farah. How are you?
So usually it's Casey and Masa doing the show, but we're having a little bit of delays at the moment. We're going to be talking about the traffic, but first let's start with the headlines. The Islamic New Year holiday has been announced.
And you can get serious fines for texting and eating while driving.
Yeah, and Emirates was ranked among the top 5 safest airlines.
And 13 dead in Dubai from jaywalking and scooter accidents in just 5 months.
Oh my gosh, it's really, really tragic. But before we get into the top trending news for today, let's have a short...
Why is no one here?
Why is no one here? So we just came into the office this morning and we realized, where is everybody? It turns out everybody is stuck in traffic this morning. We put out a poll actually on our WhatsApp. If you're not following us on our WhatsApp channel, please do, because we keep everybody updated. And we said, is everyone here stuck in traffic right now? And 21 people said yes. Everyone's stuck in traffic.
So our in-house traffic updates.
Yes, these are our in-house traffic updates. These are not official, but you can trust our sources.
Yeah, some people are saying 311 is busy, 611 is busy. Apparently there's been an accident, or it happens sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. What are we going to do?
Yeah, just be safe when you're driving.
Exactly.
That's the main thing.
That's the main thing.
And give way.
Yes.
Be patient.
Give way, be patient.
I recently got my license, and the theory that you read is so interesting. They're like, be patient, keep scanning, be patient, keep scanning. Those are like the 2 operative words throughout the theory. So a lot of people who are going for that, who are going for the traffic, Dubai or UAE or anyone kind of license, just remember, there's 2 things that you have to do throughout the process. Be careful and keep scanning for any hazard or anything.
Definitely,
so,
guys, because...
Good, small advice before you get your traffic license, driving license.
You heard it here first from Majid,
guys. Got it, so yeah, very happy with that. But yeah, a lot of news are here. Big news.
Yeah, the first thing we're going to be talking about today, guys, is the Islamic New Year holiday for public and private sector. So it has been announced and confirmed. This is the news that we've been patiently waiting for. The UAE has officially declared Friday, June 27 as a public holiday for the Islamic New Year. The announcement came from MOHRE, that's the Ministry of Human Resources and Emiratization, and it means a long weekend is on the way for private sector as well as the public sector.
Yeah, everyone was confused. I think everyone was like, oh, if we get a Thursday, we'll take Friday and we'll convert it into 4 days.
I know.
That was the plan.
I'm upset because I finish my work week on a Thursday.
Oh.
So that means Friday is just my weekend, which means...
You already have a weekend.
I already have my normal weekend, but that means it's good news for you guys and everyone else who works the regular work week. You'll have a long weekend.
But yeah, public sector employees also get this. But public sector employees recently got a 4-day work week. Some of them.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. Honestly,
I want to work in the public sector.
Same.
Everyone wants to work in the government or the public sector because they have different, somewhat, a little bit, slight different set of rules, because you can't force the private companies to do what they want. True.
Yeah. It is completely up to the
company,
the private sector companies. They get to choose for you. But in this case, where it's a public holiday, this is like the official thing. That's it. That's what we're following.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 4-day work week sounded so good when we talked about it yesterday.
I think a lot of European countries have tried it. France, one of the examples that I know of, they've tried the 4-day work week throughout the country. 3 days of like complete break. But I think it works for some industries. It doesn't work for some industries. Some industries, like the journalist, 24/7 available, 365 days job. So it doesn't work for us. I think maybe work from home can work for us in our industry.
Maybe
it's
flexible.
Yeah, industry-specific cases.
That's
you can't just apply it all over and be like, 4-day.
Yeah.
We're not working 3 days.
I mean,
what are we going to do?
There's industries like engineering, for example, where they work sometimes 6 days a week.
Yeah.
So in situations like that, where that's where it's like, you know.
And a lot of countries, I think UAE is very good. As soon as I moved to UAE, I loved it that there's a 2-day weekend. In a lot of Asian countries, there's only one day. In Pakistan specifically, there's only 1 day off, Sunday. So through and through, there's no Saturday and Sunday off. Apart from some banks, if you work in the head office, you won't get 2 days off. You'll get 6 days work week. Otherwise, if you work in the branches, you get 2 days off.
Oh,
So yeah,
man.
everyone wants to work in a bank in Pakistan.
My God, the more you know.
Yeah,
I
so
think
it's
that's
good.
where we're heading.
UAE has a 2-day work weekend, and it's, I think there's laws around it as well that you can't really,
Definitely.
yeah, disturb the employee in those days and all that. But again, depends on your industry,
Oh
what
my
you're
gosh.
doing and what your work is.
I mean, it seems like the public sector is the way to go in the UAE, but
A lot of people in Abu Dhabi love ad hoc jobs. That's what I've realized by living in Abu Dhabi. But Lovin Dubai Show, so Lovin Dubai, I've realized a lot of people who work in Mohre, especially
Yes.
Ministry of Human Resources and Emiratization, and a lot of entities which are under the government, they're very happy with all the initiatives they have for the public sector. So yeah, if you get a job, you do apply for it. I think get that job.
Get that job.
Yeah. So apart from that, we're talking about some serious fines if you're texting and eating while driving. We were just talking about the traffic, and
yeah.
it was really bad in the morning. A lot of people are saying. So you have to put your subways down, your burgers down, your morning sandwiches down, and keep your eyes on the road because there's a hefty price to pay for distracted driving. And now AI's got its eyes on you. So
Yeah, smart radars across the UAE are now watching for everything from speeding to seatbelt violations and now texting and eating behind the wheel. And let's be honest, distracted driving is a major cause of accidents here.
And delayed reactions. Obviously, when you're taking a bite of that scrumptious sandwich, there will be a delayed reaction.
Yeah.
And panic swerving, if you're not confident on the road, not patient on the road, it's all too common. So if you're caught munching or texting while driving, you could face a 800 dirham fine, 4 black points, and your vehicle can be impounded for 30 days if you're in Dubai. That's the Dubai rule.
Exactly. It's all part of a bigger push to keep roads safer, and these AI-powered radars aren't going to miss a thing.
It's so interesting that everything has AI, and now radars also have AI.
I know,
Like,
right?
Just
It's
put AI in
everywhere.
everything.
AI is everywhere. Like even on the roads, who would have thought that they would even see you? I mean, a lot of people have like these tinted. They're not obviously fully tinted windshields, but like they're sometimes like not halfway, but like a little bit there.
Yeah.
But they can see through all of that. They could see when you're texting, when you're obviously texting. That's a major
lot of
hazard. Don't do that. But with eating, a lot of people do that.
Yeah, I think they're
I
just
think I've
getting
been
late.
guilty of that before.
Everything I think is just running in the morning or trying to get on the road on
That's
time,
the
and they're like.
thing.
But
That's
yeah,
the thing.
just wait for 1.5 hours till you get to the destination or whatever the 15-minute, 30-minute drive you have. Just wait for it.
Yeah.
Because you can see on the roads. It's not like that. You can't see it. If we've seen pictures of people having newspapers in front of them. Remember?
Oh my God, that was crazy.
Yeah.
You're
It's like-
reminding me of that story.
Yeah.
No, that was intense.
Yeah, I do
but
look at Lovin Dubai sometimes.
If you didn't know,
Yeah.
Majid is actually is one of the writers for Smashy Business.
Yeah. So a lot of business stuff, but yeah, Lovin Dubai is one of the things.
We're
it's
getting a
guilty pleasure.
business mind right here.
But yeah, the funny thing with AI is that now I always thought how it would work, but you would have seen CAPTCHA, right? Whenever you try to enter a website and you get like 9 3x3 grid,
Yes.
it's very funny that you're like, why is it asking me for traffic signs? And you're checking all the boxes
Yeah.
and you miss one box and you press OK and they're like, no,
No, do
you
it
missed a
again.
box, yeah. And then they're like motorcycles. So all these things, they're actually helping the AI learn. So the people who actually are thinking like, how can radars have AI and cameras? This is the process that AI goes through, the learning process. So they're basically doing 2 things. They're checking if you're a human because you can identify that small spot of the headlight in that curve.
True.
Maybe AI or robot cannot or an automated program cannot.
Possibly.
But you are teaching it to actually catch you. So it's a system that you're making for yourself, but it's good.
You're making it smarter.
Yeah.
And you're
By
making it
inputting
catch you.
everything that you know.
But you know what? In this situation, it's for your own safety.
Yeah.
So let's follow the rules.
Yeah.
Put the subways down. Maybe wait a little while. Once you reach your destination, you can go ahead, do your texting, do your eating. Maybe don't do it while you're driving because that's not safe. I wish I knew that earlier, but now I do.
And
We don't want
yes,
those fines.
Talking about safety, Farah
Yes.
has a big news for us.
Oh yeah, UAE Airlines, okay, are among the world's safest in 2025. So we have some great news for you this morning. For frequent flyers, of course, UAE Airlines have landed top spots on the global safety rankings for 2025. According to airlineratings.com, the world's leading airline safety and product review site, Emirates was ranked third among the world's safest full-service airlines, joining the likes of Qatar Airways and Cathay Pacific. Etihad Airways also made the cut, coming in at number 5. As for budget travel, Fly Dubai and Air Arabia were also named among the safest low-cost carriers in the world. Airlineratings.com monitors 385 airlines globally, evaluating them on safety, incident records, fleet age, and industry audits. A recent study found that from 2018 to 2022, the global death risk per flight boarding was 1 in 13.7 million. So, if you've got a flight booked on a UAE carrier, you're in some of the safest hands in the skies.
Yeah, I know.
I love that.
And it's a very weird statistic if you read it.
Especially now.
Yeah, and the safest form of travel in the world across ships, cars, bikes, whatever you're using, airlines have the most less amount of accidents or deaths per accident or overall.
You never actually believe it when you read it.
Yeah.
Like when I heard that statistic yesterday, I was like, first of all, it's coming at a very weird time to read it.
Yeah.
Given the situations that we're currently seeing with many accidents
the Boeing
on
airplane which fell in India,
it's
went
so
up.
tragic.
Yeah, nearly 240 people died in that.
Yeah.
But the thing about airplane crashes is that they become very big news. Like
That's
day.
true, that's true.
Yeah, so they get a lot of attention. That is why everyone thinks, oh my God, this is such a big thing.
True.
Airlines are so unsafe. But if you talk about road accidents, on average every day, across the globe, this is like weird report I read like 3-4 years ago. I just remember some of it, but I remember the cars one. Cars was like at least 2 to 3 million accidents per year globally, and compared to airlines, and deaths actually. So accidents plus deaths was 2 to 3 million, but airport-wise or aircraft-wise, it was like 400-500 deaths per year. So
yeah, you're right. It's the fact that they're getting so much.
It's just the novelty of an airline
True.
or airplane crashing that gives you so much anxiety. But it still is, to this day, the most safest form of travel in the world.
They say you're unfortunately a lot more likely to witness an accident on the road.
Yeah.
So cars are actually not the safest form of travel, apparently. But again...
But see, if again, we just did the story. You follow the rules, you stay in your lane, you be patient, keep scanning, and...
Give way, don't be mean.
Yeah. Just leave
else?
like 10 minutes before you're actually supposed to leave.
Give yourself some time, because you never know what's going to hit the roads. Just like this morning, for example, we didn't know what we were going to face this morning, and a lot of people were late. So try to always leave at least like 10 minutes earlier than the time you think you should leave.
Yeah. I have a problem, so I leave half an hour early. Otherwise, I'm always like perennially late. So half an hour for me,
You
but
can be like Majid. And,
but for normal people, I think 10 to 15
early.
minutes is fine.
You can be like Majid. That's fine.
So some sad news also that 13 people died in Dubai from jaywalking and scooter accidents in the past 5 months. 13 people lost their lives in Dubai between January and May 2025 due to jaywalking and misuse of e-scooters, according to Dubai police. In a span of just 3 days in Feb, 2 minors aged 15 and 9 died in e-scooter accidents. This highlights a growing concern over unlicensed teens riding recklessly through traffic with no supervision. From January to May, police issued over 28,000 fines for jaywalking and seized 15,000 plus scooters. A video released by authorities shows risky behavior. Residents crossing highways, not normal roads, not two-way streets, highways illegally, and scooter riders without helmets weaving between cars. In 2024 alone, Dubai reported 254 e-scooter and bike accidents, leading to 10 deaths and 259 injuries, 17 of them serious. What's changing? Crossing from undesignated areas is now a serious offense. If it causes an accident, violators face up to 3 months in jail and fines up to 10,000 dirhams.
Wow.
And you have to care through crisis.
Yeah. That's crazy numbers.
Yeah.
I don't think you ever fully realize like how
The danger.
how dangerous it
Yeah.
is if you don't follow the rules of misusing e-scooters or jaywalking. Like you think, oh, it's gonna be fine. Oh my God, I just remembered an incident where I was first in line at a signal, and I'm gonna make a U-turn, and the signal is just turned green, and that means the pedestrian crossing, khalas, you're not supposed to cross anymore.
Yeah.
It's red.
But people run.
Mine is green. They just started moving as the light turned green for me, and thank God, I missed, but I honked because I was so angry.
Yeah.
Why would you cross when you see that it just turned red for you?
They just, to be honest,
That's not even jaywalking. That's just being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, you go to some industrial areas which have like one-way streets coming and going,
Yes.
and they have they're like after every 1.5 kilometer there is a proper zebra crossing. Sorry, my mind was saying piano because my son calls it a piano.
He
It
calls
looks
it
like a
piano.
piano.
Aw, that's so
But
cute.
yeah, I was like, whatever, bro. This is the way you cross the road.
Yeah, piano
But-
road is the crossing road.
Yeah. So he is like that. He's always like, I will always, Baba, piano. So yeah, I'm like, okay, thank you so much for reminding me also. But yeah, zebra crossings are there like every 1.5 kilometer in Al Quoz and all the industrial areas, because those are the crowded places,
Exactly.
right? So just use them.
Yeah.
That's the point. Just use them. Even in the morning today, I was like turning, and the guy was walking in the middle of the road with his headphones on. So even if I honk, he won't listen to me. And he was just walking, and I was like, okay. I think, please, even if you're walking on the road, at least get your headphones out. So if anyone can come, there's like 100 things that can happen. Your car can lose control.
Yeah, you
you
never
don't
know.
know. It's a machine at the end of the day.
That's true.
But just be careful. At least look right and left.
Yeah, so
I think
even as a
that's-
pedestrian, even if
Yeah.
you're not the one driving,
Yeah.
pay attention to the roads, take your earphones out maybe for a second while you're crossing.
Yeah.
Try to cross only at pedestrian crossings that are made for you to keep you safe.
Just to let you know, there's a rewind button on the song. So if you miss the important part, you can just rewind it if you're
That's
missing like 2
true.
seconds. If you're missing 2 seconds of that, just take it out and rewind and listen to your favorite part again. But don't play with your lives. One of the interesting things, I've used metro a lot from Business Bay, and I always see like 2 policemen standing on the Business Bay metro station because it's the most busiest, I think,
True,
in this
it
part.
is.
If go to the further part, Burjuman and Union are the most
Of
busiest.
course, yeah.
But as soon as you come out of the Business Bay metro station, there's like 1,000 people coming
It's
out.
a huge crowd.
So the zebra crossing loses space. There's no space. But the good thing is that you always see like 4 or 5 people with those RTA vests and everyone controlling the traffic. They make way for you. So if they're making way for you, they're putting in so much effort. They have so many personnels just to manage you, to help you cross the roads. Because
That's
their
so
preference
true.
is people. They always stop the cars. The taxis hate going to that place. The people who have to cross that place hate it. But
I
they
would hate
make
it.
place for all the people. So if they're helping you so much, they have signs everywhere. The car people, sometimes I think we put too much on the drivers. The people walking on the road should take also some responsibility. As a driver now, I've realized. Earlier I was like, why aren't you stopping? It's zebra
Yeah,
crossing.
yeah.
And then you start driving and you're like, no, sometimes people should also be careful.
Exactly.
It's-
Look both ways. Even if
yeah.
it's a pedestrian crossing, still look.
Yeah.
Because you never know. Someone might not be paying attention while they're driving and they just want to speed through.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, those are the stories for the day.
those are the stories for today.
I think the lesson, the core idea
The
is
core
be
idea,
safe.
the theme of today is to be careful and be safe, because also yesterday we were talking a lot about the aftermath of the Marina Pinnacle fire. If you
Yeah.
don't know, there was a massive fire that was so amazingly controlled by Dubai authorities. It was put out within a few hours. It was so great to see, and honestly, great job for the emergency team that made their way. We're gonna be joined by Mike, who's the founder of Mike's Vet, and he's gonna talk about how he stepped in as the clinic stepped up to care for pets after the fires. Stay tuned.
They're there. We're coming.
welcome back to the Lovin Dubai Show. Joining us today is Mike, the founder of Mike's Vet. In the aftermath of the Marina Pinnacle fire, his clinic stepped up to care for pets affected, offering emergency treatment, shelter, and support. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
We're so honored to have you and hear about your story, because when we covered it before, we were so amazed to see so many people step up for the people and, of course, the pets that were affected by this fire. So following the news of the incident, what made you jump into action?
It's knee-jerk reaction. So born and raised here, and that's one of the things I love about Dubai, where people just come together when something goes wrong, and you see it brings out the best in us. So, I saw people helping out with the folk that were, that had to leave their apartments, and for me, I was like, first thought in my head, because I've got so many animals at home, I was like, what's happening with the pets? And we just put the post on in record time, and we're like, just bring them over. So our clinic was closed because we're not a 24/7 operation. And we just got some of our staff to go back, paid them some overtime, and said, just let the animals come in.
That's
And
amazing.
you talked about the community. Did you see anyone else coming to you, like helping you with the support that you created?
No, absolutely. So we had people reach out to us because we offer this pro bono. So there was no
nice.
charge, in terms of checking the animals. We had a few that went into our ICU unit for critical care as well from smoke inhalation. And we had random people reach out saying that they just wanted to contribute, and we refused them. We said, and our motto always with this, when we, when it's cases like this, pay it forward.
Oh, that's a very nice.
Yep.
Can you tell us how the operation went about? So, of course, you put the word out there that Mike's Vet is willing to help animals affected by the fire, this one specifically. So can you tell us how the rescue teams dropped them off? How were they reaching your facility?
Yeah, absolutely. So we had a lot of volunteers that stepped up because, and this takes me to a point where people need to prepare better, and that was the lesson learned from this, where make sure you have an emergency kit ready, in terms of carriers, how you're going to trap your animals. We had a bird that was rescued as well. That was brought to our clinic, a bird by the name of Mango. Really cute little fella. But we're just not prepared for things like this because, if you get the alarm sounding, your animals get scared as well. Keep a carrier ready, in your storage or something or the other, so you can just quickly put them in and then exit your apartment. But long and short of it, transportation was an issue. So we work with a large group of rescuers in the UAE who are always prepared with things like this, like trapping animals, with the gloves and everything when they get anxious. And they just drove down there and then brought the animals to us. But the bit that I found really interesting was it was random people that just went there and helped. I met this lovely family just yesterday, actually, where mom took her daughter and they went and they helped pick up 3 animals and brought her to the clinic.
Nice.
Because they saw the post and their response was, I just couldn't sit by and do nothing. So, it's nice when you see things like that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's just the feeling of community in Dubai.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you talked to us about one of the pets that went into the ICU. Any other common things that you saw, what happened? Mainly smoke inhalation, obviously. But anyone else was like critically injured?
No, a couple of them we just had to do some oxygen therapy because again, just they were breathing a bit heavy, but knock on wood, all of them were okay. So we never had any critical cases, so to speak. The ICU is it's a temperature controlled environment where you can control everything that's happening with the animal, but we didn't have to put any of them on IV or medication or anything as such. It was just ensuring that they were healthy and then went back to their owners. We still got about, I think, 5 at the clinic, and that's only because the owners don't have a place at the moment, so they're crashing with friends or family. So the moment they're ready, the animals are good to go.
Nice.
So how many animals did you get? Are they mostly cats, mostly dogs?
It was 16 cats, 1 dog, 1 bird.
Oh.
1 bird.
Yeah.
Mango.
That was the old one out. But
yeah, so 16 cats, like all breeds, like any special cats?
a combination.
I'm a cat lover.
Combination of all breeds. But if you're a cat lover, you need to come visit because I've got 136 at home. So.
Whoa.
136 cats. Nice. I will come. With my son. And what was the most heartwarming moment? Like community obviously came together. We love those moments. What was the most heartwarming moment? Anything else that you saw? Like the women that you talked about, drop the cats. A lot of things. Any other?
I think for me, and it's not just with this instance, right? It's fascinating to me that sometimes the people you least expect it from do the most. And that's a common theme that I see, where people who are stretched to the max with how much they do for the community, animals, and everything else, still pick up the phone, give you a call, and tell you how can I help. And that just fascinates me every single time, because I'm a strong believer that you can't fill from an empty cup. And, sometimes I tell them, I'm like, look, take a step back, let someone else hold the reins on this specific case. But it's just, they give much more than most people that I know. And that's always something that I hold very dear to my heart. But
that's amazing.
Yeah.
You were talking about being prepared because obviously you never know when something like this can happen. So let's say I have a cat and someone else has a dog. Is there a specific way that I should be prepared?
I think the key thing is, depending on the dog, is have everything that you need in an easy, accessible place. So this generally is near the entrance of your house.
Yeah.
Now with dogs, it's fairly easier because if they got their collar on, all you need is a lead. But with cats, it gets tricky because they get anxious when they hear loud sounds. When you panic, they sense it as well. So I would also suggest maybe having a pair of animal gloves.
Yeah.
Because if your cat gets anxious, just so you don't have battle scars, just dump it into the cage as quickly as possible and exit. And that was the lesson learned for me with this one specifically, because a lot of people were trying to get their animals but just couldn't find their cat, for example. So take a step back, calm down, have everything ready, make sure you have a carrier that's large enough, and then don't leave them behind.
Yes, of course.
Because there's still one cat that's missing, I believe, as of yesterday. But apart from that, all the other animals are accounted for. So we had a WhatsApp group, which was quite extensive. But all the other animals are accounted for, healthy, safe, which is great.
I think it can be a good series for your Instagram page. I was just looking at it. I have good followership. I think you can do a whole series, like 2-3 videos, reels about it.
Yep.
Yeah, emergency measures, right? I'm seeing a lot of good content here.
Because we need to know how to take care of our pets in case of emergencies like this.
Yeah.
We're trying to spread the word out there to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's all about awareness, right?
Yeah.
And with animals specifically, there's a lot of misinformation out there, unfortunately, and that's what we try to do with our page as well, which is just bust the myths, so to speak, because just like with us, there's a lot of like fad diets and there's so many different things, and for me it's always take a step back and let's focus on what's best for them. And with emergencies as well, I think most of us plan really well for ourselves, like a fire or whatever else it might be, but when it comes down to your animals, there is a cost associated with it, and you need to plan for these emergencies. And it's not just a fire in your apartment, touch wood that doesn't happen, but if you need to travel at the 11th hour, how are you arranging for or making provisions for your pet? Because it's a lifetime commitment for that animal. I mean, my oldest cat is 22 years old.
22?
I never thought he'd go that long, but he's still going, so still healthy. Good. But he was the first one we rescued. He's a typical street cat, but 22 years is a long commitment. There are costs associated with that, and you just need to plan accordingly. They're not toys.
Yeah,
they're not presents.
This
is
a
one
family
of the
member.
things
I've seen on Lovin Dubai. We see a lot of rescue stories and all that. A lot of people leave their like healthy dogs and cats out, and someone is rescuing them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Someone should whenever you take a pet, take responsibility as
100%.
well. Yeah, it's very difficult to take care of them, right?
100%.
So just be committed and be responsible with it. What's one lesson? One big lesson, like the umbrella lesson.
Preparation.
Yeah.
I think that's the ultimate lesson here, because even for us, it was an aha moment for me as well, where we live in such a safe city where everything is so quick, and there's a problem, there's a solution just around the corner, and with things like these, it's just unforeseen.
Yeah.
And I think we learned a bit of that lesson last year with the rains.
Oh yes.
But that is still easier to deal with, I feel, versus something like this, because here you've got a matter of seconds to make the right decisions. And that is the lesson learned from this. So keep the carrier, have an emergency kit ready, have a backup plan, so where are you going to take that animal? But again, it's in the carrier, it's safe, it's with you. That's step one, obviously. And make provisions. It's, have a fund that's set aside for emergencies like this, because even if you do all of that preparation and let's say you have nowhere to take the animal, what are you going to do? You have to check it into boarding or something or the other. Have a friend that is your backup plan or something. So just plan as much as you possibly can. And it's like insurance, right? We all pay for it. Hopefully, you never need to use it, but
It's better to have it, right?
absolutely.
Better safe than sorry, 100%.
Yeah.
And overall message for any other like vet clinics or anyone? You did it. Would you urge everyone to be like this open?
I wish more people
Yeah.
would truly understand the gift of giving.
Yeah.
You get far more from it than what you give out. And, if parking everything aside, I think that, moments like this bring out the best in us and just give more than you take. It's this quote I read years ago, right, where there are two kinds of people in the world, givers and takers.
Yeah.
The givers sleep better. The
Yeah.
takers eat better, and you need to choose a side. I'm not for one of those, drawing a line in the sand, but just give more than you take.
Yeah.
Even with the animals that we have on the streets in Dubai, we have so many people that do so much. If everyone just took on one case, the problem's gone.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's just and it's pennies on the dollar if you think
Yeah.
from a cost perspective. So, yeah, just pay it forward, give. It's best way to live life by far.
Where
Thank you
can
so much,
people
Mike.
find you, and where can people get more updates on what's happening right now?
So you can follow our clinic page, which is Mike's Vet DXB, and then both me and my wife have our own Instagram handles. So
Nice.
I'm the cat guy DXB, and she's the cat girl DXB. So
Amazing.
Yeah.
Guys,
Perfect.
follow them because you don't want to miss it. And be prepared. That's the moral of the story
Absolutely.
today. Thank you,
Thank
Mike,
you.
for joining us today.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
Pleasure.
it. Thank you, Majid.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Bye.
right, we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, hopefully earlier.